As we grow older, we often find ourselves reflecting on the past, and sometimes we feel the urge to share our thoughts with loved ones. But there are moments when it's best to hold certain things close to our hearts, especially when it comes to regrets and vulnerabilities. Let me ask you, have you ever said something in a moment of frustration that you later wished you had kept to yourself? Not because it wasn't true, but because it shifted the balance of a relationship in a way you didn't intend. As we age, we gain wisdom, but we also accumulate regrets. One of the most common regrets many people have in their later years is revealing too much, opening up in ways that unintentionally disrupt the peace in their relationships. There are certain things we should keep to ourselves, not out of secrecy or dishonesty, but out of respect for the dignity and peace of mind of those we love. As time passes, we realize the value of preserving harmony and not burdening others with our past mistakes or frustrations. For instance, unloading your deepest regrets onto family can sometimes backfire. While you may think sharing will bring closure, it can place an emotional strain on those who care about you. A parent sharing regret over a missed opportunity or a past mistake might unintentionally cause their children to question their own choices or feel as though their lives are based on past failures. What was meant to be a release for you can end up creating doubt or discomfort for them. Moreover, focusing too much on the past can rob us of the present. When we dwell on what could have been, it creates an atmosphere of sadness rather than celebrating the precious moments we still have. Family members may start to feel as though their efforts are not enough, or they may feel helpless in lifting the weight of your regrets. This can unintentionally build emotional walls between you and them, rather than strengthening your bond. It's not that these feelings should never be shared, but it's important to know when to speak and when to keep certain thoughts private. Expressing regret can be part of a process of growth, but repeated conversations about disappointment can drain energy from meaningful connections. Instead of focusing on what has been lost, consider reflecting on the lessons learned and guiding those around you toward a brighter, more hopeful future. When it comes to finances, the same principle applies. Honesty is key, but there is a fine line between transparency and oversharing. Revealing too much about your financial situation can create unnecessary worry or unrealistic expectations for your family. Instead of burdening them with concerns, it's better to focus on offering wisdom about managing resources and building financial stability for the future. By doing so, you help empower your loved ones, rather than creating anxiety or tension. In the end, the wisdom of aging lies in knowing when to share and when to keep certain things to ourselves. Life is a journey of learning and growth, and as we move forward, it's important to preserve the peace and joy that we've worked so hard to cultivate. Sharing our wisdom in a way that encourages hope, rather than regret, can make all the difference for both us and those we care about. As we navigate the complexities of family life, we often find ourselves caught in conversations about financial struggles or successes. While these topics are natural parts of our experience, they can subtly shift how we are perceived by those closest to us, sometimes creating unintended consequences. Whether it's discussing financial hardships or boasting about achievements, the impact on family dynamics can be significant. Talking too openly about financial challenges can place an emotional burden on family members. No matter how old they are, children may feel obligated to help their parents, sometimes at the cost of their own well-being. Imagine a grown child hearing repeated concerns about money and, out of love and duty, making financial sacrifices to assist, even when they can't afford it. Over time, this can create a sense of resentment, not because they don't care, but because they feel trapped between their own responsibilities and the expectation to support their parents. The relationship can shift from one of mutual respect to one overshadowed by obligation and guilt. On the other hand, sharing too much about financial success can lead to unexpected challenges as well. Family members might develop a sense of entitlement, assuming that because you are financially well off, you owe them assistance or an inheritance. This can undermine their own sense of independence, as they begin to rely on the expectation that you will take care of them rather than fostering their own financial stability. Additionally, when family members begin comparing their financial situations to yours, it can create tensions, jealousy, and disputes, particularly between siblings or extended family members. The danger of oversharing financial information is not only the potential for emotional strain, but also the shift in how others perceive you. When money becomes the dominant topic of conversation, relationships can lose their depth and become transactional. Instead of seeing you as a person, family members may start to see you as a source of financial support, or, conversely, as a burden in times of struggle. This erodes the genuine connection that family relationships should be built on. Managing financial discussions with discretion is crucial to preserving the love, respect, and mutual understanding that form the foundation of healthy family dynamics. Instead of revealing every detail of your financial life, offer guidance and wisdom about money without burdening others with your personal reality. This approach empowers your loved ones to grow and maintain their own financial independence while fostering stronger, more meaningful connections. The same care should be taken with sharing personal opinions about family members, particularly when emotions run high. It might seem natural to express your frustrations, especially when tensions build up, but expressing negative opinions can have lasting consequences. Once words are spoken, they cannot be taken back, and they have the power to reshape relationships in ways that can be difficult to mend. For example, if a parent expresses disappointment in a son-in-law or criticizes a daughter's choices, those words linger long after the conversation ends. What may have been intended as a moment of honest expression can quickly become the seed of resentment. The child who hears these criticisms may find themselves caught between loyalty to their spouse and their parent. What was meant to be a casual comment can transform family gatherings into tense affairs, with interactions becoming strained. Furthermore, even when we think we're careful, there's always the risk of misinterpretation. People hear things through the lens of their own emotions, and what one person sees as a simple observation might be perceived as judgment by another. Over time, repeated criticisms, whether subtle or direct, can erode trust. Family members may distance themselves not out of a lack of love, but as a means of protecting their own emotional well-being. And once trust begins to break down, it's hard to repair. The ability to express ourselves is important, but we must also recognize the power of words and the impact they have on those around us. It's often better to hold back and give time for reflection before expressing strong opinions, particularly those that may hurt or divide. Family relationships are delicate and require careful navigation. While honesty is vital, there are moments when silence can be more powerful than words. When we approach family with empathy and understanding, we create an environment where love and respect can flourish. Let's focus on strengthening our connections through positive, supportive communication, rather than letting frustrations and misunderstandings overshadow the bonds that tie us together. The way we share our opinions has the power to influence not only our relationships, but the dynamics within the entire family. Expressing a negative view about a sibling, cousin, or in-law may seem harmless in the moment, but over time, those words can shape how others in the family see that person. What starts as a personal frustration can quickly become a shared perception, and before long, division can spread beyond the original conflict. Family matters are often intricate, And what might have been a simple disagreement can escalate into unnecessary drama, creating lasting rifts. Choosing to withhold certain opinions is not about dishonesty. It's about wisdom and respect. Relationships require careful navigation, and it's important to recognize that not every thought needs to be spoken aloud. Family dynamics are complex, and while honesty is valuable, restraint can be even more powerful. Maintaining harmony doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect, but it does mean understanding when to step back, allowing time rather than words to shape the course of relationships. In the end, preserving peace can often be more constructive than airing every frustration. As we grow older, our health inevitably becomes a more frequent topic of conversation. It's only natural to want to share concerns with family, especially when facing health difficulties. However, there's a fine line between keeping loved ones informed and overwhelming them with constant discussions about ailments. While it's crucial to communicate major health concerns, making health the central topic of all conversations can subtly shift the dynamic of your relationships. Instead of being seen as the strong, wise figure you've always been, you may begin to be viewed through the lens of illness or frailty. This shift is not intentional, nor is it out of malice, but it can change how your family interacts with you. Conversations that were once filled with shared experiences may now revolve mainly around symptoms, medications, and doctor visits. While their intentions are rooted in care, this can create a sense of isolation, as your identity becomes more tied to your health than to who you are as a person. No longer are you the person they turn to for wisdom or laughter. Instead, you may become the one they feel the need to check on. Moreover, constantly discussing health concerns can place an emotional burden on your family. Loved ones want to support and care for each other, but when every ache, pain, or medical worry is vocalized, it can overwhelm them with a sense of helplessness. Children, in particular, may begin to feel guilty, unable to fix the situation, and this guilt can lead to stress, or worse, avoidance. No one wants to feel powerless when it comes to the well-being of a loved one. And when health concerns dominate discussions, family interactions can become strained as members struggle with their own emotional responses. There is also a psychological aspect to how we view health. If we focus too much on illness, we may inadvertently reinforce a mindset of decline, which can make it harder to stay mentally and emotionally strong. How we speak about ourselves influences how we feel. Constantly verbalizing physical struggles can make them feel even more overwhelming, both for ourselves and those around us. This can lead to a cycle where everyone begins to assume fragility, even in moments when there's no immediate need for concern. By reframing our health discussions and focusing on maintaining a balanced, positive perspective, we can ensure that our relationships stay grounded in love and respect, rather than worry and pity. It's important to share health concerns when necessary, but equally important to keep a sense of hope and resilience alive in our conversations. Instead of allowing our health to define us, let's continue to define ourselves by the strength, wisdom, and love we bring to our families. By focusing on the present and the strength that comes with age, we give our families the gift of appreciating who we are, not just what we are going through. When strength is still present, sharing health concerns should be approached with intention. It's about focusing on what's truly necessary and not making it a recurring theme in every conversation. By maintaining dignity and balance in these discussions, relationships stay rooted in meaningful connection, allowing us to remain seen for who we are beyond our illnesses or fears. This allows families to engage with us as people, not just as the sum of our struggles. Fear, especially as we grow older, is a natural part of life. It's understandable to want to share these fears with family members, seeking reassurance or comfort. However, When these anxieties become a constant presence in our conversations, they can unintentionally place a heavy emotional burden on our loved ones. While it's important to express our concerns, continually voicing deep anxieties about aging, loneliness, or the state of the world can create unnecessary worry that others may struggle to relieve. One of the dangers of openly sharing fears about the future is that it can instill a sense of helplessness in those who care about us. Family members, especially children, often look to their elders as pillars of wisdom and stability. When they hear repeated expressions of fear, whether about declining health, financial insecurity, or being alone, they may feel powerless to offer real solutions. This sense of helplessness can lead to guilt, stress, and even frustration as they try to balance their own responsibilities while also feeling an unspoken obligation to ease your worries. Instead of fostering stronger bonds, this dynamic can lead to emotional exhaustion, where family members begin to withdraw, feeling that no matter how much comfort they offer, it will never be enough. Another risk of constantly sharing fears is that it can influence how others perceive and interact with you. If you repeatedly talk about your fears for the future, people may begin to see you as fragile, overly cautious, or even incapable of handling life's challenges. This can lead to well-meaning but limiting behaviors, such as family members making decisions for you rather than with you. Over time, this can erode your sense of independence and dignity, making you feel less in control of your own life. Fear is also contagious. When it is voiced repeatedly, it doesn't just affect the person expressing it, it spreads to those who hear it. A parent who frequently expresses their fear of being abandoned may unknowingly make their children question their own life choices, torn between pursuing their personal goals and feeling a sense of duty to provide constant reassurance. Similarly, talking too often about fears regarding the world's future can create unnecessary anxiety in younger generations, leading them to feel uncertain or discouraged about their own paths. By managing fears internally or expressing them in a measured way, we can maintain a more balanced and peaceful life. Strength doesn't come from ignoring our fears, but from refusing to let them dominate our interactions. The true power lies in focusing on the present moment and staying resilient in the face of adversity. This approach allows us to protect the emotional well-being of our family while also preserving the warmth and connection that make our relationships so valuable. In doing so, we continue to offer love and support, not out of a place of fear, but from a place of strength and mutual respect. Ultimately, as we grow older, we have the unique opportunity to pass down not only our wisdom, but also a model of resilience and emotional balance. By sharing our concerns in thoughtful ways, we can cultivate an atmosphere of mutual support, ensuring that our family relationships remain deeply rooted in understanding and care, rather than overshadowed by anxiety or worry.